Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for tuning into the SHC Business Podcast. I'm your host, Ethan Sisk, and today we'll be featuring Maddie Bouck, a legendary figure in this year's graduating class. In today's episode, we'll be talking about her senior project, The College Companion, her avocation for St. Jude, and her plans for the future. How are you doing this morning, Maddie Bouck?
I'm great. I'm feeling really good. How are you?
I'm really good. I'm very glad and happy you joined me before you graduate.
I was so honored when you texted me. I was like, let's do it. Ethan Sisk wants me on his podcast. Talk to me. You have to book an appointment first. Seriously.
Yeah, I heard you did a social, like a Snapchat story.
A little private story moment.
Post.
I was just kind of like flexing it to everyone that I was asked. I really did feel special, so I was excited to come.
That makes the podcast feel special, so it's a win-win.
I'm glad.
What are you doing to celebrate graduation?
We're celebrating. We're actually going to Bowhaden's tomorrow after graduation, like later in the night. It's the bar that was started up by the two alumni, Bo and Hayden.
Yeah.
And we actually, a lot of students have connections with the bar. I did their marketing for a long time. A lot of us have bartended there. So, we just want to bring the Spring Hill community, keep going any way we can. So we're going there Saturday night. It should be a good night.
How long did you work for them?
About 9 months. I did a lot of their marketing. Well, I did all of their marketing, their social media, advertising. I even was, they have a giant black chalkboard and blackboard that you write on with chalk and like markers in the back of the bar. And I actually was designing things on there, writing the schedule. And I don't even do graphic design. So I was kind of doing everything that they needed for me for that time period.
How'd you get on with them initially?
So I met Bo and Hayden because my good friend Peyton Horkovy has known them for years. Her sister Ryan graduated from Spring Hill with them. And I was just going to talk to them like, hey, I would love to work with you guys. I've been in the restaurant, serving, bartending, business before. Love to, have a little job for my senior year. And they're like, okay, great. Start bartending. End up posting a few social media things for them while I was working. And Bo said he loved it. He said, I love the vibe you're giving the bar. I want you to be the face of the bar. I said, okay, sure. I've never done anything like this before. I'm an advertising student, but I'll try my best. And yeah, we just took it off from there, and I kind of revamped their whole image for a little while. And yeah, and now they're on their way.
Is there someone that's filled your spot?
Not as of right now that I know of. I think Bo is just kind of using what I've taught him and what he knows. And just doing, what he feels right. Yeah, what he feels. Yeah, definitely freestyling.
What tactics did you deploy? Was it a lot of trial and error?
It was definitely trial and error because, I was a student. I was learning as I was doing this. We were all learning. It was a brand new business. How did we want this to look? So it was definitely trial and error. I used a lot of Canva to do a lot of graphics. I had my camera from being a communications student, so I had all my video things, pictures. So I was able to really just go with what I felt was right for the bar. I was at almost every special event we had, private parties, even karaoke nights. DJ Lynch is there every Thursday. I was there with my camera pretty much every day for months.
How does obtaining a camera work as a communication student?
So you get to be a part of Media Lab, I think. Normally your sophomore year in the communications department. And you purchase it through the school. It's pretty cheap, obviously, because, everyone's buying in bulk. And, we're buying it through the school. And you get a tripod, you get a camera, you get
a whole kit.
Mic, you get the whole thing. And it's really awesome. So then you learn how to use that through the class with Ryan Noble. And then I used all that and basically applied everything I've learned from school, applied it to working.
So you get to keep that camera now.
Oh, yeah, that's my camera.
Because they also do rentals, and that's one thing I'm angling for. I'm not a communication student, but I'm got a trailer in the works for the podcast.
That's awesome. So you definitely should get into that.
Yeah, the iPhone's not really cutting it.
The camera is really cool, and honestly, if you sit there for a long time, you start messing with it, you'll pick up some really cool tricks and stuff.
Back to Bowhaden's, they got a bunch of exciting new ideas. I talked to Bo about. One of the things was a speakeasy deal in the back.
I mean, he is full of ideas. He's seriously one of the most creative people I know because he'll sit there and if he wants something to work, he's going to make it work. And he will try for that. I can't wait to see what the bar ends up looking like. I know they've had a lot of different ideas in the past. They wanted to do a garage door at one point, do a food truck outside. Now I think they want to do like a rooftop, just some like they have a lot of different ideas, which is great because they're young and I think they'll make it work.
For sure. And
Um,
all the ideas are pretty new and innovative to
yeah.
Mobile, and like the
Oh
bar
yeah.
scene doesn't have those.
Exactly, especially on St. Louis Street. They're really trying to like make it more of like a foot heavy, traffic heavy
Mm-hmm.
thing. Like there's, a lot of more up and coming businesses
Yeah.
over there. So I think that would be really cool.
And with time too, that street's just going to continue to grow.
Oh yeah. And it really is a nice little street down there. St. Louis Street.
Yeah. Recently you interviewed me for your senior seminar project.
Yes, I did. So that is the College Companion blog. That was my senior seminar project.
Maddie Bouck's blog.
Maddie Bouck's blogs, yes. So I did that because we have to do a project for senior seminar, applied communication project. So
Is that just for Com Arts or
yes,
every
I
Spring Hill
believe
student?
I think every Spring Hills senior has to do some sort of like senior seminar, or capstone class.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is what ours is offered in the spring, and we have to do either like a extra long research paper on top of the research paper we're doing, or a applied communication project.
And the reasoning behind that is it's just like a holistic thing to show your knowledge on
Show everything
what
that
Spring
you've
Hill's giving
learned.
you. Yeah.
Yes, and that's what's really cool because all the students have really different projects, and you can tell that they're all passionate about what they're doing, and it's just really cool when presentation day comes and we get to see everyone like seem proud of themselves.
Yeah. So you presented your blog?
I did. So mine was the College Companion, and it is get through the craze of college with a friend. That's my little tagline. I wanted it to be like a survival guide to get through college because we all know that there's so many common struggles and disadvantages that students go through, and sometimes it's really hard to make it to the finish line. And since I was almost at the finish line and almost, have felt defeat so many times, I was like, I want every student to get to the point where I am and feel proud of themselves. So that was like kind of like the reasoning behind it. Yeah, and I've done lots of different articles talking about common struggles
Yeah.
and a few podcast episodes, not as official as this, and it's still on its way. I'm on chapter 2 now, and I'm going to continue it for, I think, a while.
On the podcast and the different blog segments, you just went for a variety of testimonials from people?
Yes. So what I did was I researched the common struggles that majority students will feel throughout their 4 years of school, or sometimes 5 or 6. And a lot of it was academic disqualification, lack of social life, lack of support, financial concerns. So I kind of touched on all of those in a kind of a different way. And some people I brought in an interview, like when I asked you to come in and talk about things that make us grow. I had Linda Hayes, the Wellness Center counselor, and I had her come in and talk about why mental health matters. And I did a couple different things like that. I even did a fun podcast with my roommates, talk about the craze of college and then like some things that we've all been through. So I try to make it as like universally like perspective as possible.
Yeah.
You know?
I really admire and appreciate the project, but also the snippet you done on me. You asked me maybe 8 questions and you turned it into a full page, and everyone's like, "Man, you're a great writer," thinking it was me. I was
it's
like,
Maddie B.
Yeah, I had to tell them the truth.
I loved it. I really wanted to talk to you just about, I think you give a really different perspective on life and on college life, especially for me. And I wanted people to see that, and I wanted you to be recognized for that.
Thank you.
Which was really cool. And I think
It felt good to be recognized.
good. I'm so glad. Everyone deserves to be recognized, but especially when you're feeling empowered and feeling like really good about the way your life has now evolved. I wanted to share that, which was like really cool.
On the podcast you did with your roommates, how did you, like, how are your expectations going into the end outcome?
I was a little nervous because we all like to talk a lot and we all like to talk over each other. And I had one microphone, and I have 3 other roommates. There's 4 of us that live in my apartment, but I have 2 honorary roommates that basically live with me, Sam and Maggie. So we were like, you guys have to be a part of it. You've been our 5th and 6th roommates this whole year. Jump in. So there were 6 of us sitting on my couch in my little Spring Hill apartment living room, and we're all sitting there talking. And it was really fun. It was almost like a therapy session for all of us and like a bonding moment. But it was also cool because we were being vulnerable with each other, sharing things that maybe we don't bring up a lot, feeling gratitude towards each other, and it was really nice. But it turned out well. It did.
Did you just develop a set of questions beforehand?
Yeah, so I had like a little list of like things I wanted to talk about, and we definitely got off topic a lot of times, but that's what editing's for. And it was great. We definitely covered everything I wanted to cover, and they all gave amazing viewpoints on college life.
That's great. I'm gonna have to go in and listen to it for some tips.
You should.
Tricks.
It's a good one. It's a fun one to listen to too.
Outside of school, what are your passions?
I have a couple different passions that I've developed throughout the years, which I never really thought I would have. I mean, I grew up dancing my entire life, and that was the only thing I've ever done.
Ballet?
Ballet, jazz, tap, hip-hop, everything. I was a competitive dancer since I was 2 years old.
Ballet is such a cheat code for athletics.
It is. I mean, people think of dance as not an athletic sport, and in a way it's not. It's athletic, but it's also an art.
Yeah,
it's both.
right.
It's both. You're working your body just as hard as any athlete would, but you're also using your artistic abilities and trying to perform. So I did that my entire life, and I actually was, after high school, I was completely burnt out. I decided to not dance anymore. So I was like, what is going to fill my time? I've always loved dogs and rescue animals. My family has rescued about 12 dogs in the last 5 or 6 years.
Goodness.
And
you're in Chicago?
Yes, my family's from Chicago.
The backyards aren't too big in Chicago.
I mean, they're not super big, but we haven't had 12 at all one time. I mean, that would be awesome. But over time, we have had 12 dogs, and they've all gone to homes. And 2 of them actually we decided to keep for ourselves, Captain and Max. They're our boxers, and we're a huge boxer family. That's our breed. And and then I ended up rescuing a dog when I got to Mobile, Topanga. She's my girl.
She's a celebrity around campus.
She is. I mean, people know her as Miss Topanga. She's actually a pit bull, and I mean, she's just my world. She's changed my perspective on everything. So she's definitely a major passion of mine, I would say.
Would you recommend to someone that's maybe looking to an outlet like the College Companion, looking for a little bit more out of college, would you recommend getting a dog?
I would. I wanted to talk about that in my blog, but it's also a little hard to talk about because there are procedures and ways that you have to go about before getting an emotional support or service animal.
Registered.
You have to get it registered. You have to get it approved by the school or wherever you're living. A lot of times you have to go through your psychiatrist or therapist to make it true, make it valid. So it takes a lot of time, and a lot of times it can be hard for college students to have a dog because it also changes your way of life. You can't be out until 4 a.m.
Yeah.
You have to wake up at 7 a.m. when the dog has to go to the bathroom. She's got to eat. You got to have money to feed her. You got to be around. You got to be able to take her outside and go for walks and do what she wants to do. And, that was an eye-opening experience for me because as a junior, I was on one way of life, and then I have this dog, and she really changed my life. My grades got significantly better. My dad he's always like, I love that you got a dog because your grades change, your personality, you have matured, you've grown so much. And that's why I would recommend it, because it teaches you a lot of life skills, but it also can be really hard for some students that, sometimes it's hard for us to take care of ourselves.
100%.
And then another dog, it's a lot.
I have 2 friends that both got dogs. One of them still has a dog, the other one does not.
And it's just sad. It's they tried, and sometimes it's best for them to find another home for them, but then it's also hard on the dog.
It really is. That's just cruel to come into a new environment and say, see ya.
Especially any rescue animal too. So you got to be really specific about what you're getting yourself into. Got to be prepared.
I found a beautiful lab last school year and didn't have leash or food or anything. But you helped me out and gave me the leash and food and helped me find the owner.
Oh, yeah.
That was through your babysitting connections?
Yes. So we have, through my sorority, we have a Tri Delta babysitting page. And all of the girls are able to text on it, like DM them and be like, hey, like we're available this days and this days. And then the parents can post like looking for a sitter this day, this time, this many kids.
That's wonderful.
It's awesome. It's really great for us because then we're able to get babysitting gigs, get some extra money.
It's a win-win for
the community. Yes, the community is getting some extra help, and a lot of them are even like Tri Delta alumni. So it's really cool then meeting them. Yes, like I babysat this one family, and she was like, "Yeah, I was a Tri Delta at Spring Hill, and my daughter will be one day too." And she's like a baby. I'm like, that's crazy. Like I hope one day she is at Tri Delta, even at Spring Hill. But yeah, that's when because that was my way for a couple different things to get the message out there. So when we fundraise, I was always posting things like, "Hey, we have this event, this fundraising event." So then I'm like, why would I not post that this dog is missing? Someone's got to know someone. Like, it's a small community.
It was less than a day when we found the owner.
Thank goodness. I was so happy. But
I'm still friends with the owner to this day, Mr. Rowe. I do some work for him periodically, and still go see the dog, Ivy.
Yeah. That was a great experience. I'm so glad we found the parents.
Yeah, that was awesome. I just grabbed the dog and said, "Oh,
At least you grabbed it.
I could take. I just saw him." Beautiful dog just running with muddle over him. So I had a little extra king cake in the car. And I was like,
king cake,
hey. It ran over and just hopped right in the car. So I was like, well.
She was friendly, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then, no leash or anything. But the dog ate good for like a few days when I had her. Straight plates from the calf.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure she was like, this is the life. College life is for her. Yeah. She was loving it.
Yeah. Another thing that Tri Delta does, and you were kind of heading, is St. Jude fundraising.
Our fundraising. It is our favorite thing to do. Tri Delta has been partners with St. Jude since 1999, and overall as a major organization, we've raised almost $98 million in 60 years, and it's just unreal. So for
Go Tri Delta.
Yeah, I know. We're pretty awesome, I will say. So for our specific chapter here at Spring Hill, I was the director of philanthropy for a year, and I didn't honestly even know a lot about St. Jude coming into college, and I rushed Tri Delta, and they opened my eyes, and I was like, this is an amazing organization.
Was that a leading reason to join Tri Delta?
I think it was, because during recruitment, you talk a lot about the philanthropy work, and I have always done philanthropy work and fundraise for nonprofits, and just everything they told me about the hospital. I mean, no family will ever pay for treatment bill, transportation, food, housing, anything. And they even have a Tri Delta place on St. Jude's campus in Memphis, and it was built by like us, our money and everything, and families are able to then stay there while their child is receiving treatment. If you have the time to look into St. Jude, it's really worth it. Yeah. Just the work they do is seriously
It's a phenomenal organization.
Awesome. Unbelievable. So that's what really I'm like, I want to be in charge of this. I want to start all these campaigns. I want to raise way more money than we ever had. And let's just keep going. Let's start more events. Let's do more things. So I actually implemented a few more events. We did a walk and a run at the beginning of the year. And we did a couple other like tabling events and got some extra money, which was really cool. But yeah, I was director for them, and we've raised, at our last event, Swinging for St. Jude, which we just got recognized from the school for as the best philanthropy event of the year.
Nice.
Which is, I was like, wow, like that's my little award. So we raised $4,000 for that. And then last year, we haven't counted our total for this year yet, but last year we raised about $25,000. And was actually recognized as like one of the top fundraising chapters as for our school size by Tri Delta and St. Jude, which was really cool to recognize.
That's big time.
That. Yeah.
How do you go about raising money for the softball game?
So the softball game is every organization on school. So we got Phi Mu, Sigma Chi, Lambda.
Right. The other Greek organizations.
So everyone comes in and they can register a team. Every team that registers pays $100. That's the registration fee. They come out, they play a tournament, and that's how it kind of happens. So this year, we actually implemented an auction before the tournament so people could auction for players and coaches because you get them regardless. But we're like, let's try and raise a little bit more money.
So you drafted
them.
Girls?
Yes,
Gotcha.
We did. And we actually kind of stole that from the Sigma Chi boys with their little Derby Days auction.
Oh, yeah.
Just because I saw how much money y'all were raising, and I was like, we're doing that. We're going on that. So we ended up raising like $400 extra than we would have just with the auction. So I'm like, we're off to a great start. So I think that we're gonna keep that. Well, the girls will keep that going as the years go on. But that's how we really do it. We have our money from like our personal dues that we pay to get snacks. Domino's actually has a partnership with St. Jude, so they donated 16 pizzas for our event, which we gave out to everyone, which was so nice. Mob Snow came out. We have a good relationship with them, and they donated every $1 out of the three that you pay for was then donated to St. Jude. So we had a lot of different money going in and out, which was really awesome.
Was it donated back through y'all, or did they donate it themselves?
They back through us. So it's under our name, which goes to like our end of the year total, which is what we want. We want to be up there.
That's wonderful.
It's really great.
What's your role in Badger Television?
Badger Television. So I unfortunately didn't do it this last season, but I have been a part of it for 3 seasons. My first year I was the weather girl, the weather reporter, and then I was around the town reporter, and then I was the anchor for my final season, which was really cool to be a part of.
The anchor is like the quarterback.
Oh yeah, I was the main girl. I was at my desk. I'm throwing it, hey, Nick Watts of sports, and over here with weather, and it was a really cool experience, and it's a really cool class because you're doing everything on your own. It's all student run. The producers and directors are all students. We're writing the scripts. They're editing the PowerPoint. They're doing all the camera work. It's really cool.
Is broadcasting something you'd want to do after college?
I thought about it for a while just because I really loved working with everyone in Badger TV. And I love doing hair and makeup and getting on camera. But the demands for the job are really high. It's a lot of time commitment, a lot of long hours, early days. And I don't know if I love broadcasting that much to get into it like that, where I feel a lot stronger, more passionate about journalism, PR, and advertising.
Right. So that's what you want to do, PR or advertising?
I love being like an advocate. That's like, I think that's the best way to describe what I want to be is a voice.
I feel like you're a great voice for Spring Hill so far.
Thank you. I love Spring Hill.
Some people have more favorable experiences than others, but you're always talking very highly of it, and that means a lot to me because it's all we got. It's our only college.
Exactly.
So
you have to appreciate what you have, and yes, it definitely. We have all been like, what's going on, Spring Hill? Like, what are you doing? What are you thinking? How are you going to fix this? But in the long run, I feel like we're all it's all like just kind of funny now. Like we're all it's just like a joke. But the community means well, and we're all really supportive of each other.
Definitely. Is there an ideal company or industry that you want to do PR in?
I want to say nonprofit, just because that's where my heart is. It's not where the money is. But I think one day I'll go into a bigger business, maybe even my own, if that would be really cool to have something that has my name on it. But that takes time. I obviously don't even have like a business degree, so I'd have to get a partner and stuff. But
hey, we can work something out.
There we go. We could definitely do that. I would love that. I definitely just want to keep growing myself. I just want to keep feeling proud and keep stepping up the success ladder, basically.
If I ever have a business or a product, I want you to be my flow for State Farm.
I will. You can sign my name right now.
All right, we got the contract.
Done.
Is the process of preparing to leave college and enter the real world been stressful?
It's been a little stressful. It's been, because it's unknown. We don't know what it's going to be like for us. We don't know how we're going to feel. I mean, I've been here for the last 4 years, and every time I would have to go home for the summer, I would basically stomp my feet and say, I'm not leaving. Like, I love this place. I would itch to come back here. So it's definitely been a long, it hasn't really hit me all that well, like all that much yet. Definitely been talking to like my friends who are alumni and my parents and just being like, how am I going to be okay? And they're like, you're going to be okay. Like, it takes time for sure, but just trust the process and just do what makes you happy.
And you will.
That's my goal. That's my life goal. Be happy.
What are your biggest takeaways from your time here as a student?
A lot. I mean,
I feel like you were able to relay a lot of those through the college companion.
Yes, which is great. I mean, that's like my outlet for it for real, and I want it to be an outlet for other people, and I hope one day it can be more of like a commenting, sharing, even like collab sort of thing. But I think my biggest takeaways from college have been that class is actually so important, that skipping class is not really, it's a good thing to do.
No,
Like,
it's not.
you need to go and you need to be present.
Did you figure that out the hard way?
I definitely did. I actually almost didn't come back for my junior year because my mom, so freshman year I did great. I mean, it's freshman year, you got all your intro classes, and sophomore year I'm like, I'm having way too much fun. I'm not focusing on what I'm here for. And my mom was like, I'm not paying for you to be on vacation. I'm paying for you to get a degree and to do well. And she said, if you can't figure that out, I'm not sending you back, and you will do community college and you will live at home. And that was like, no, that was not happening. I was not staying at home. I was not doing community college. I was going to graduate from Spring Hill College because I loved it. I love this place so much. And so, yeah, I was like, okay, you know what? She was like, I'm going to, if you can't prove it this next semester, then you'll stay home and you'll finish through home. So I got it together. I came here my junior year. I had my first apartment, Portier Place. I had my roommates, and I was like, you know what? Let's go. And I ended up changing my major from psychology. It was just too hard for me. I think I didn't want to study. I didn't want all those tests. Like, it was a lot. And now talking about mental illness all the time is really draining.
Yeah, that can kind of promote mental illness.
God, you would think so. I think for some people it does. I think it does bring them down. And I think it was happening with me at that time just because mental illness is so prevalent in my life with like family, even myself sometimes. So I was like, I think it's pushing me away from the love that I have of psychology and wanting to help people. So I need to take a break. And I switched over to communications, and I could not be happier. I mean, I love everything I've learned, and I really do feel like I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
Good.
So, yeah.
With the College Companion blog, is there a way you plan to relay that to incoming freshmen or underclassmen?
Yes. So I try to do my best this past semester with kind of getting the message out there. I had flyers all over campus. I had the president of SGA, Walker Carlisle, post a photo of me and him holding the thing. I had, I tried to share it to everyone I could, telling people, share it with your classmates, share it with people, and trying to just get the word out about it because it was pretty new. And I think I got a good amount of like younger kids in the mix of like the survey responses and just like viewing it. I know I had some underclassmen that I'm friends with come up to me and say that they've loved it, and just some of my friends that I like have class with, like school friends. But if there was a way to like for them to like legitimately see it and like see it at first and just kind of have it in the back of their mind, I think that would do a lot.
Right. Something to fall back on.
Right. And just be like, oh, wait, there's that one girl who's already graduated. She's been through it. Let me just see what I can take away from this, because I bet you there is at least one thing from all of the articles in the podcast that's you can take away.
For sure.
That'll help you.
Do you think there's a way you can incorporate it in the bookstore or just something for like maybe parents to see?
That would be awesome. You know what? That's a really great idea. I should probably go to the bookstore and say something to them.
Sure. Well, we can go after this.
I know I was going to stop there. I would love to. I want to maybe just make it a little bigger. I mean, it's doing really well online on the Instagram platform and the website itself. The analytics are super high, the engagement's super high, the reaches, but it's like I just want more actual engagement, actual feedback, because that's what's going to keep it evolving.
Mm-hmm.
I need to know if people are genuinely enjoying this. What do you want me to talk about? Because that's what it really is about. It's not about me. Yes, it helps me release anything that I'm feeling and helps me, see things from a clear point of view, but the point is to help other people. Yeah.
Well, if I next year hear of any students struggling or might need a little pick-me-up,
send them a link.
I'll send you the blog.
Thank you.
And I really appreciate you coming on today.
Yeah, I love it.
And it's been an honor to say I went to college with Maddie Bouck.
Oh, thank you. That's really sweet.
And
you're really sweet.
Couch party tonight.
Yeah, we're burning the couches. I'm really excited about that. Yeah. I'm really excited.
And we got a whole there's a concert going on too.
Yeah, and this is like the first like couch party concert type thing, so I think it'll be really fun, but we'll have to see how it goes.
Well, y'all's class is definitely gonna go out with a bang.
I hope so. We were a really good class.
Thank you, Maddie.
Of course, thank you.
I would like to personally thank everyone who tuned into this episode of the SHC Division of Business podcast. Our aim is to give young professionals insight into their desired field or potential job of choice. If you gain anything from this, or have any compassion whatsoever, please share with someone you see fit.